Happening now, we have the latest on smoke advisories across our region. And major construction at a Jamestown thoroughfare is almost complete. We look at the traffic pattern changes coming up. Plus, more information on the Gus Macker event this summer.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Bronson Rasmussen. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, heavy smoke is still filtering into Chautauqua County. As a result, multiple outdoor services have been canceled and advisories put in place. A multitude of local events have been put on hold today, including the Jamestown Tarp Skunks game and a multitude of school events across the county. Now it is recommended to not go outside Thursday afternoon, and if you do, to wear proper face coverings. Chautauqua County health officials recommend canceling or postponing outdoor activities today.
This may give us a break to stay inside with the windows closed, without fans, and figure some other things out indoors. We are recommending, especially for those with underlying medical conditions such as asthma and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, to avoid being outdoors today. For the general public, we would recommend, trying to stay indoors as much as possible.
And now we are joined with our Andrew Stevenson, Chief Weather Forecaster, to speak more about all the advisories in place today. Andrew?
As has been the past few days, we still have an air quality alert that's in place for all of Western New York, pretty much all of New York State, and pretty much all of Pennsylvania. And this is actually in place until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and the pollution we are getting from the wildfire smoke is raised the air quality alert. Normally, like I said yesterday, normally we do have good air quality here across the region, but this wildfire smoke is just making things worse. There is some good news when it comes to this. The winds are going to start shifting heading into the weekend, so that should help take away the wildfire smoke and kind of push it somewhere else. The low pressure system that's been out over the Gulf of Maine has been directing the winds from the north, and that's pushing all this smoke down from Canada and down here. But when that low pressure system starts to move away, it's going to shift the winds and hopefully shift the smoke out from our area. Today, the air quality number is in 150, which yesterday was around 125 across the region. Today we're around 150, so that basically means it's unhealthy for everyone out there. Yesterday, unhealthy for the elderly and the kids. Today, it's basically unhealthy for everyone. We can't really see the smoke out there today because we have clouds out there and we have some rain showers possible this afternoon, but I assure you, the smoke is still there and we're in an unhealthy category for today. The almanac with the smoke is keeping the temperatures down where they normally should be. Our high yesterday was 64 degrees. Our low for today was 47. The record high for today, 94, set back in 1933, and the record low of 31, set back in 1977. So here's your first defense weather forecast for the rest of the afternoon out there. Mostly cloudy skies, maybe a couple peaks of sunshine, but even if the sunshine was there, we wouldn't be able to see it. We will have a chance for some isolated scattered showers possible this afternoon with a northwest wind of 5 to 10 miles per hour, and highs today will range in the low to mid 60s. I'll have a look at that full forecast, including the rain chances, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. Well, Chautauqua County is facing legal trouble over the state of emergency, with New York State arguing that it constitutes as defamation. Now, last month, County Executive P.J. Wendell issued a state of emergency for Chautauqua County due to the influx of migrants coming into New York State. In turn, New York State filed a suit against Chautauqua County, claiming that the county is excluding certain individuals. In response to the allegations, the county executive says that the county cannot provide services or assistance to asylum seekers. Now, he went on to say that no one from the state or federal government will get back to him on assisting all these migrants coming in. While many members of the LGBTQIA+ community share stories of being turned away by family, luckily, a group of parents are making their way to Pride this year, giving hugs to those who might not have supportive parents to hug. Free Mom Hugs has attended Pride the past few years, and Candace LeBaron is excited to attend this year, representing the group. The organization does their best to offer support during any event involving the LGBTQIA+ community, as they recognize that Pride Month may be a hard time for some.
We're a mom support group to the LGBTQ plus group. For those who have parents that aren't supportive, we like to sub in any type of activity they need, giving free hugs. That's what we're all about.
Now the group can be identified by their free Mom Hugs t-shirt that they'll be sporting at the festivities this year, and are happy to embrace those who need a hug or simply want one from a parental figure. Now you can find free Mom Hugs this Saturday during the Jamestown Pride Festival. While construction on a major Jamestown thoroughway is almost complete, now we talk to officials about Washington Street's transformation. Over $4 million from state and federal funds was allocated to rebuild the thoroughfare. The project was put on hold last year, with the contractors leaving mid-construction. Now, crews are on the verge of finishing painting traffic lines, and a noticeable change has occurred. The roadway has transformed from a 4-lane traffic pattern to a 2-lane with a central turning lane. Crews have also introduced 5-foot bike lanes on both sides of the thoroughfare to extend the buffer between traffic and pedestrians.
The state did a study and they decided that being no buffer zone with the 4-lane, the buffer zone is the curbing, and with pedestrians walking, it was too dangerous and there was too many accidents on record. So they wanted to bring it in a little bit, and it's going to be a safer road to drive on, and that was their main objective to this.
While the Public Works Chair says that traffic will increase for the area, it's worth it for safety. Now this traffic pattern will match what crews did to Fluvanna Avenue a couple years ago. Well, as WNY News Now continues, we look at air quality in New York State and what state officials are doing about it. And later, we join a group of leaders in Warren County, including our own Aaron Mee. Stay with us, as WNY News Now will be right back.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
3-on-3 basketball returns to Jamestown, New York this summer. Collaborative Children's Solutions and partners are hosting a Gus Macker tournament August 19th and 20th in Brooklyn Square. The streets will be packed with a festival atmosphere, bringing the young players who compete for the top prize in their divisions. Register online at Macker.com before July 31st. The Jamestown Macker will also include some specialty competitions, making it one of the best community events of the year.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
On this episode of Lead and Lures, pro staffer and lethal lady Caitlin Armstrong takes out her big Ohio buck. Months of hard work, dedication, and scouting have led her to this moment. You're not going to want to miss this episode of Lead and Lures on Channel 716 Roku TV. And if you want to see more of Caitlin Armstrong, follow her on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. At Caitlin Armstrong.
Land has been quite the experience.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Some advocates are pushing for legislation to combat climate change in response to the air quality impacts from the recent Canadian wildfires. Now today, our New York State Capitol correspondent Elise Klein breaks down this legislation and shares an update from New York State leaders.
And the bottom line is this: if you can stay indoors, stay indoors. This is detrimental to people's health.
The governor says air quality issues are expected to continue for the next few days. Earlier today, the Department of Environmental Conservation and the Department of Health issued an air quality health advisory for New Yorkers across the state.
You know, right now across the state, it's pretty significant. If you look at how much the air quality index has accelerated across the entire state.
McDonald recommends New Yorkers wear a mask when outdoors.
If you have to go outside, a mask is a way to protect you. And keep in mind, what a mask does is it really filters the air you breathe.
Some environmental advocates are also pushing for legislation called the Climate Change Superfund Act that would establish a climate change adaptation cost recovery program. The program would require companies that have contributed to the buildup of climate warning greenhouse gases in the atmosphere to bear a share of the infrastructure investment costs to adapt to climate change.
What are we going to do? That's really the question for lawmakers. Are they going to just work on what they usually work on and pretend nothing's happening? All they have to do is look out the window and they know something bad is happening.
Some advocates are also pushing for a bill that would ban the use of certain substances and materials from packaging and establish non-reusable reduction requirements. In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
A New York State senator is vying to fix a mistake made by the Department of Health and Nourish NY Tuesday afternoon. Until last September, Nourish NY, a program to distribute funding to regional food banks operations, were functioning as intended. Then, the Department of Health unexpectedly merged Nourish NY with the Hunger Prevention Nutrition Assistance Program. This new request for funding procedure was compromised. His sponsorship strives to fix arising issues with Nourish NY food banks due to the Department of Health's ill-formed action. The unexplained merger did not consider the widely different aspects of both programs. As a result, several New York food banks faced major funding cuts. Now, Senator Borrello is co-sponsoring Senate Bill 7533 in order to fix this mistake, specifying the Nourish NY Fund's original function. Well, as the 2023 Warren County Leadership Program comes to a close, we look at the 12 graduates, including Erie News Now's Aaron Mee, becoming true community leaders. Now, the multi-month program takes participants through rigorous training to make leaders out of community members. The Leadership Warren County class of 2023 spent over 80 hours in the classroom, touring local businesses and meeting with learning the importance of leadership. Now, Mee is among 11 other graduates transformed into a community leader.
What we would like to see is the students who graduated today go on to serve as civil servants in the community, work on projects, really just making it a better place for people to live and improving the quality of life for everyone.
Really, I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm feeling really excited for Warren County. I think that there's a large group of people here that just graduated that are going to be going off and doing a lot of really great things for the community.
Now, the first official class of the leadership program finished in 2008. This year is the 16th graduating class. From all of us at WNY News Now, we want to say congratulations to Aaron Mee and the class of 2023. Well, Medicaid advocates called on state lawmakers to step up for those who were protected during the COVID-19 pandemic, but who are no longer eligible for Medicaid. The continuous enrollment period, which was established under the CARES Act, protected people from being kicked off Medicaid during the COVID-19 health emergency. But that period ended at the end of March, and since then, over 15,000 Pennsylvanians were found ineligible for Medicaid. Advocates say another 1.2 million Pennsylvanians could be impacted.
No one should lose their health care. No one who's currently on Medicaid should lose it because of this so-called unwinding. We should be able to find ways to keep people on their Medicaid, to keep people on their health care.
Many Republicans stand firm against Medicaid spending on those who are no longer eligible. The Department of Human Services said that their goal is to keep everyone covered, be it through Medicaid or by connecting them to Penny to purchase low-cost health coverage. For tips on preparing for the Medicaid renewal process and for information on other healthcare options, you can head to our website at WNYNewsNow.com. Well, coming up, we have the latest in a cold case where the prime suspect is currently being extradited to the U.S. And later, President Biden has vetoed a measure to cancel student loans. But first, we return with a look at our full weather forecast.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Hi, I'm Dave Manella, Chairman of the Italian-American Charity Golf Association, and it is our goal to help in the fight against cancer-related care. We have held our annual charity fundraiser for over 52 years and raised over $1.6 million for the healthcare facilities throughout our community. This includes UPMC Cancer Treatment Center and the Star Hospice House. Our next tournament will be held from June 8th through June 10th at Holiday Valley. If you would like more information, you can go to ihcharitygolf.com.
On this episode of Lead and Lures, pro staffer and lethal lady Caitlin Armstrong takes out her big Ohio buck. Months of hard work, dedication, and scouting have led her to this moment. You're not going to want to miss this episode of Lead and Lures on Channel 716 Roku TV. And if you want to see more of Caitlin Armstrong, follow her on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Caitlin Armstrong.
Land has been quite the experience.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
3-on-3 basketball returns to Jamestown, New York this summer. Collaborative Children's Solutions and partners are hosting a Gus Macker tournament August 19th and 20th in Brooklyn Square. The streets will be packed with a festival atmosphere, bringing the youngest of our Macker mites up to the adult players who compete for the top prize in their divisions. Register online at Macker.com before July 31st. The Jamestown Macker will also include some specialty competitions, making it one of the best community events of the year.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. The current conditions in downtown Jamestown, we're under mostly cloudy skies. 58 degrees is the temperature as of 1 o'clock at the Jamestown Airport with a north wind of 7 miles per hour, and the visibility at the Jamestown Airport is down to 9 miles. Well, the drought monitor was updated today, and across the extreme southern part of the southern tier as well as northwestern Pennsylvania, we've actually been upgraded to a moderate drought. Now, it's not showing up on the map, but the rest of western New York, up including Erie County and the rest of Chautauqua County, are under abnormally dry conditions. So we were expecting this. We haven't had any rain in the past week. We actually haven't had any rain going on almost 3 weeks now, and we expected that the southern tier and northwestern Pennsylvania will be upgraded to a moderate drought. So without any rain, we were upgraded, and hopefully we have some rain coming in the near future because we definitely need it. Here's what's happening across the Northeast right now. We have this low pressure system that's been responsible for the rain across parts of New England, but not for us. It's actually also been responsible for the smoke with that northwest flow of the winds. It's been pushing smoke down across our area, but that low pressure system moved a little farther to the west, and that's why we're getting into the clouds, and we'll get into some rain showers this afternoon and tomorrow, although it'll be widely isolated and scattered. You'll see it here on Future Scan. Mostly cloudy skies to the rest of the afternoon with a chance for a couple pop-up isolated rain showers, maybe a scattered thunderstorm. We'll go mostly cloudy skies through the night tonight, and we'll basically do the same thing tomorrow. Partly to mostly cloudy skies through the day tomorrow with a chance chance for some scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms possible. And then a weak ridge of high pressure builds in for Saturday, and we should stay dry through most of the day on Saturday with partly to mostly cloudy skies. And then we'll get into another low pressure system, which actually will hopefully bring some more of a chance for widespread rain into the region by Sunday, and you'll see it here in the extended forecast, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So temperatures today and tomorrow will be in the low to mid 60s, partly sunny skies on Saturday with temperatures in the low 70s. A low pressure system is going to move across the area Sunday into Monday. That should bring better chances for widespread showers into the region. We definitely need the rain, and then we should be dry heading into Tuesday and Wednesday with temperatures generally in the lower 70s.
Now, if I heard you right earlier, Andrew, this low pressure system coming in over the weekend will blow all that smoke out of our area, right?
The low pressure system that's currently over Maine is going to skedaddle, and it's going to change the wind, so that will hopefully change the smoke direction. We won't get it, but someone else is going to get it. But we could use a break, I guess, from it.
Alrighty, thank you very much, Andrew. And time for some headlines from around the nation. The smoke from the Canadian wildfires is impacting most of the Northeast, including our nation's capital. Now, this video of the White House is around 3 o'clock yesterday. Usually that building and the Washington Monument right behind it are pretty noticeable, but the haze is clouding some of the viewing. The EPA has this fire and smoke map. Most of the New England area is highlighted in red, which means poor quality. Now in D.C., officials say the air quality is rated as code red, meaning it's equivalent to being exposed to about 7 cigarettes a day. If someone was to be outside the whole time, according to research from Stanford University, the last time the region was in code red was back in 2011, according to local forecasters. Now, these hazy conditions are very rare and hazardous. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer took to the Senate floor discussing the harmful impacts from the Canadian wildfires. He says these wildfires are unprecedented and adds that we cannot ignore that climate change makes these disasters worse.
Warmer temperatures and severe droughts mean forests burn faster, burn hotter, and burn bigger. And the warming is happening at a faster pace in countries with higher latitudes. None of this is coincidence. This smoke and fog over New York and the rest of the Northeast is a warning from nature that we have a lot of work to do to reverse the destruction of climate change.
Now, the EPA says exposure to the smoke cloud can affect your lungs and hearts, which may cause breathing problems, aggravated asthma, and other pre-existing lung diseases. The EPA is encouraging people to refrain from strenuous outdoor activities. Well, FBI agents are expected to transfer Jordan Vandersloot on Thursday to the U.S. Now, Vandersloot is the prime suspect in the disappearance of Natalie Holloway, the Alabama teen who was last seen with the Dutch national and 2 others 18 years ago in Aruba. He was indicted in 2010 on U.S. federal charges of extortion and wire fraud in connection with a plot to sell information about the whereabouts of Holloway's remains. A team is expected to return to Alabama with Vandersloot on Thursday after he is turned over to U.S. authorities. He has been held at a Peru prison since 2012, where he was convicted and sentenced to 28 years in prison for the murder of 21-year-old Stephanie Flores. Now, Holloway's remains have never been found, and in 2012, a judge in Alabama signed the order that declared her legally dead. Well, a congressional effort to squash President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness program, well, it died a quick death. The bill offers to forgive up to $20,000 in debt for students who went to college on Pell Grants and $10,000 for those without, if specific requirements were met. Both chambers of Congress passed a bill that would have halted Biden's program, but the president vetoed that legislation Wednesday, saying he, quote, won't back down from helping hardworking folks. Now, critics say the proposal is financially unfair. The legality of the loan forgiveness program is in the hands of the Supreme Court. The justices are expected to issue a declaration on this summer. Due to the pending legislation, no debt has been canceled. Well, next, we have more information on the 2023 Gus Macker.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
On this episode of Lead and Lures, pro staffer and lethal lady Caitlin Armstrong takes out her big Ohio buck. Months of hard work, dedication, and scouting have led her to this moment. You're not going to want to miss this episode of Lead and Lures on Channel 716 Roku TV. And if you want to see more of Caitlin Armstrong, follow her on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Caitlin Armstrong.
Land has been quite the experience.
3-on-3 basketball returns to Jamestown, New York this summer. Collaborative Children's Solutions and partners are hosting a Gus Macker tournament August 19th and 20th in Brooklyn Square. The streets will be packed with a festival atmosphere, bringing the youngest of our Macker mites up to the adult players who compete for the top prize in their divisions. Register online at Macker.com before July 31st. The Jamestown Macker will also include some specialty competitions, making it one of the best community events of the year.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Noah. Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Hi, I'm Dave Manella, Chairman of the Italian-American Charity Golf Association, and it is our goal to help in the fight against cancer-related care. We have held our annual charity fundraiser for over 52 years and raised over $1.6 million for the healthcare facilities throughout our community. This includes UPMC Cancer Treatment Center and the Star Hospice House. Our next tournament will be held from June 8th through June 10th at Holiday Valley. If you would like more information, you can go to ihcharitygolf.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
The Gus Macker tournament originally debuted in 1987, and since then has grown into a beloved event throughout the years. Now our Alyssa Wright joins us live in the studio today with more on this upcoming basketball tournament. Alyssa?
Bronson, many community members are jumping at the bits to shoot some hoops and enjoy some friendly competition.
Big part of the success of this tournament and the stamp they put on it. So that's extremely important to me.
Smeraldo is working to incorporate the use of social media for advertising and community engagement.
There are different tools that we're using now with social media and getting the word out, and actually activities that are happening at the Macker that weekend. And it's important for us to listen to those folks, those individuals being students now, and what they believe and what they should dream this into.
Those at CCS understand the importance of listening to the ideas of others, especially when it comes to a large event like the Macker.
It doesn't have to always be top down. We don't have to tell them. Instead, rather, we have to let them, everybody has a story, let them tell their story, and from their story, then we'll push the drive. So yeah, that's important to me with the projects that we do, that it is a collaboration and it's everybody has a voice at the table.
Now the Gus Macker 3-on-3 basketball tournament will take place in Jamestown on August 19th and 20th. For more information, you can visit www.macker.com.
All right, Alyssa, have you ever actually been to the Gus Macker event?
I haven't.
It's always been fun. You have so many people down there just enjoying basketball, bunch of vendors. Oh, I remember smelling stuff like, I can't think of, Italian sausage. It doesn't help that it's right in the afternoon right now when none of us have had lunch yet, but it will be fine.
Oh, you used to work at.
Me and Bronson.
We did.
Yeah, me and Bronson did it when they did it downtown.
Selling
when we worked at
hamburgers
the
right outside
arena.
the
We
ice
set it up
arena.
a concession out there.
But that's all the time that we have for today, everyone. We will leave you, though, with this live look over Randolph. Be sure to stay safe during all this smoky time.